Hey there, dear friends. I want to share with y'all something that just happened to me, and it's got to do with a squash. I tell you, there is a lesson for us in everything that happens. I'm finding that out more and more. The Lord just help us to realize. But what happened was, I'm going to try to make this real quick for you. I'm a very inexperienced gardener, and I've only planted a little garden for a couple years. This might be my third year. And I'm growing a couple things that I've never grown before. Watermelon, and corn, and green beans this year. But either way, one of the people that has been the hardest for me to deal with in my whole entire life, she is in my family kind of indirectly, and I don't have any choice but to interact with her. And the Lord has really done some work on me by having to deal with this person for so many years. But either way, I have named that person as, if I had to choose who was my top enemy in this world, it would be her. But anyway, the Lord has helped me so much not to have grudges or any animosity towards her. As a matter of fact, He's really changed my heart to have a lot of compassion and sorrow for the things she's went through that causes her to be the way she is. So that's just a little bit about that. But either way, she saw my garden the other day. I wasn't there. She came by with somebody, and she took it upon herself to go check out my garden. And my son told me about it. And she had made a comment to my son, and he told me, she had said, I'd love to have a squash if you mama, when she gets some in. And so anyway, my squash have started coming in, y'all. Keep in mind I'm inexperienced, okay? Well, I was out there watering the garden tonight, and I saw a beautiful big squash. This is my third one I've been able to harvest. The first one I gave to my dad. The second one I fried up for my family. And this was my third one, and I thought, I'm going to take that to said person. Because she had said she wanted one. And I was, honestly, I got to tell you, I was kind of proud of my squash. I thought it's so big and so yellow and so beautiful. So I was on my way to go pick up my daughter from driver's ed, and I stopped by her house, and I took it into her and laid it there, and I was in a hurry and everything. And she came in there and said, she said, that sure does have a lot of knots on it. And she said, I believe it's an old squash. I believe you let it grow too long. And I said, oh, I thought this type of squash had knots or whatever. I didn't realize. And she thanked me and everything. But anyway, I left. And y'all, I'm so tender-hearted. I really am. And it almost made me get tears, because here I had given my best. Well, my third best. It was my third squash. And I had given it to her. And the comment, that she made back to me, it just, it kind of hurt my feelings that I had tried hard to do right and do a good deed, and to come to find out it was just almost old rotten squash. I'd let it lay too long. I didn't know. Because sure enough, when I left, I Googled it. And I saw that, yeah, pick them while they're slick. Y'all probably know that, a lot of y'all. But anyway, so I was just, really wasn't talking with the Lord about it, but He knew what I was thinking. And I felt like He said, I was pleased with what you did. He said, I know what your intention was. And I'm just thinking this in my mind. and your intention was good. Your intention was good. Even though what that woman saw when I gave her that squash, she saw near rotten squash, you know. But the Lord looks at our heart. And so when I was thinking about that, I was saying, you know, Lord, I think I'm going to share that. I think that's a real good lesson. And that, you know, the Lord sees your striving. He sees our giving. He sees the motives and intentions behind everything we do. You know, if you're trying to deal with a person that's hard to deal with, and you're trying so hard to keep your mouth shut, you know, and not fire back, and maybe you just let it go. The Lord sees your heart. He knows you are trying with everything you got. Though that person that you fired back at might say, well, you're some kind of person, aren't you? And this, that, and the other. The Lord sees your heart. And I really appreciate that about the Lord, that He sees our heart, you know. And that too is why we really cannot righteously, fairly judge another person, because we cannot see. Nobody. You know, that woman, she didn't know what was going through my mind when I was thinking, you know, I want to give her some of my first fruits here. She didn't know, but the Lord did. And I just thought I'd share that with y'all. And after I got done kind of thinking about it and everything, my phone rang, and it was her. And she was just saying a couple things that didn't have to do with nothing. And then she said, I said, you know, you was right. I looked that up, and you're supposed to pick the squash while it's slick. I said, I felt bad for bringing you that near rotten squash. And she said, well, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I said, it's all right, you didn't. Isn't that cool, y'all? I mean, I'm telling you, it about makes me cry just because I've got myself choked up. Excuse me. Just because the Lord's so good. So, I love y'all.